Welcome to Off the Edge Deep Dive, the podcast where we jump headfirst into the most thrilling, thought-provoking, and sometimes jaw-dropping topics with your hosts, Cal and Tam. Let's take a deep dive into science, technology, culture, and everything in between. No shallow waters here, folks. So buckle up, because we're about to push the boundaries and go off the edge.
All right, everybody, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into this government shutdown mess.
Oh, yeah, this is a big one.
And look, we all know the headlines scream about budgets and deadlines, but we're going deeper.
Way deeper.
We're talking about the real impact on, everyday people.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of folks hear shutdown and they think, oh, here we go again.
Right. Like it's just political noise.
Exactly. But it's so much more than that.
Exactly. So let's break it down, what's the real story behind all this?
Yeah. So at the core of it, you've got this fundamental disagreement, spending priorities.
Okay.
It's not just about, the overall amount of money.
Right.
But it's where that money goes, what it funds.
And both sides are kind of digging their heels in.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a classic case of, using the budget, leverage their own agendas.
Right. So it becomes this high stakes game.
Exactly. And the stakes are incredibly high this time around.
So let's say they don't find a way out of this.
Ooh, okay. So worst case scenario.
Yeah. Paint me a picture. What are we really talking about here?
We're talking about a repeat of 2018.
Oh, gosh.
Remember that. The longest shutdown in U.S. history.
I try not to.
35 days.
Ugh.
Essential services halted.
Yeah.
The economy took an $11 billion hit.
Ugh. And people's lives were completely disrupted.
Absolutely. We're talking about 800,000 federal employees furloughed.
Oh, my goodness. No paychecks.
Right. And those are just the immediate impacts.
Right.
Then you've got the ripple effects, the long-term consequences. Okay, so think about scientific research that gets delayed.
Oh, yeah.
Business permits that get stalled. It just creates this massive uncertainty.
That undermines everything.
Exactly.
So, okay, we're talking national parks closing, FBI investigations on hold.
Mm-hmm.
But what about Social Security?
Right, that's a big one.
Because I keep hearing these rumors about checks being delayed.
Okay, so it's unlikely that they'll completely stop issuing checks. But there could be processing delays, especially for new applications or benefit changes.
So people might have to wait even longer.
Exactly. And for folks who rely on those checks every month, that's a huge problem.
Absolutely. And what about the broader economic impact beyond just those direct services?
Oh, well, a shutdown sends shockwaves through the entire economy.
How so?
Well, think about it. Investors get nervous. The stock market starts to wobble.
Oh, yeah.
Consumer spending takes a hit because people are worried about the future.
Right. Everyone's kind of holding their breath.
Exactly. And then you've got the disruption of federal contracts.
Right, because the government is a huge customer for so many businesses.
Absolutely. We're talking everything from defense projects to infrastructure to scientific research.
All grinding to a halt.
Exactly. And that impacts businesses and workers all across the country.
So let's be real for a second. Compromise in this current political climate.
It feels like a fantasy.
It really does, but I'm seeing some chatter about a nuclear option.
Oh, yeah, that's been floating around.
To bypass the whole budget process.
Right, essentially changing Senate rules to pass a spending bill with a simple majority.
So you wouldn't need those 60 votes.
Exactly, but it's highly controversial.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It could really escalate partisan tensions.
So how likely is it to actually happen?
I'd say it's more of a last resort if negotiations completely collapse.
Okay, so if that's not on the table, what are some other options?
Well, there's always the possibility of a short-term continuing resolution.
Okay, and what does that mean?
Basically, it's a temporary Band-Aid.
Okay.
It keeps the government funded for a short period while they keep negotiating.
But it doesn't really solve the underlying problem.
Exactly. It just kicks the can down the road.
And eventually you run out of road.
Right. And then we're right back where we started.
So it really comes down to whether our elected officials can,
put the country first.
Yeah, find some common ground.
Exactly. And that's the million-dollar question.
It really is. So we've gone through the causes, the potential chaos,
the escape.
But here's something for you all to ponder.
I love this part.
If these shutdowns are so disruptive,
so damaging,
why do they keep happening?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Is it a symptom of a broken system?
Or is it, a feature, not a bug?
Ooh, I like that.
Of our political landscape.
That's the real deep dive, folks.
Go explore.
Let us know what you find.
And that's a wrap for today's video. We hope you enjoyed the journey with us. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with all our latest content. A huge thanks to the makers at Boundaries Edge for bringing this to life. Be sure to check out the channel at Boundaries Edge for more exciting videos and deep dives. Until next time, keep pushing your boundaries to the edge.